South. This led to the formation of State Reorganization Commission in 1956. Okay, you can say to reorganization the Indian state, Indian government, you can say created or formed what State Reorganization Commission. A commission was founded by what Indian government in 1956. Based on the recommendation of the commission, Bombay province was divided into Maharashtra and Gujarat on linguistic basis. Okay, in Maharashtra the Marathi people are lived, in Gujarat the Gujarati people are lived. Okay, so the Bombay province divided into two what states? Okay, Maharashtra and Gujarat. Further, Bengal province was divided into West Bengal, Orissa and Bihar. Madras province got divided into Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and Punjab was divided into Punjab and Haryana. As a result of the formation of these states, 22 regional language got official status. Got it? So to reorganize the Indian state, a commission was also formed or created by the Indian government. After that, okay, it was easy to reorganize the Indian states. Okay, and 22 regional language also got official status. Okay, after that, the main major or main issue or main obstacles for the Indian government was economic what challenge or economic issue. So India had considerably suffered economically under the British rule because the Britishers they were took the wealth from India into their own land to the Britain. Okay, the leaders of India led by the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru adopted the principle of formal economic planning on socialist lines soon after independence. Okay, the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, took some steps to, you can say, to prevent the economic challenges. This was done in order to encourage economic growth with self what reliance, social justice and remove poverty. Got it? This democratic political framework using the mechanism of a mixed economy where both public and private sector could coexist. With this broad principle in mind, the Planning Commission was set up in March 1950. Okay, to betterment the Indian people. Okay, or to you can say for the development, economic development of the Indian people, a planning commission was set up in March 1950. The planning commission decided to formulate 5-year plans to ensure development of agriculture and industry and to tackle the problem of poverty and unemployment. Okay, so the 5-year plan or the planning commission created 5-year plans where they gave importance to the field of agriculture, the field of industries. Okay, so to prevent the economic challenge, you can say to solve the economic challenges, what Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister India, what set up, you can say a planning commission in 1950, and the planning commission was created what 5-year plans where they you can say give support, they gave their eyes mostly on agriculture field and manufacturing industries. Through the agriculture field and you can say through the agriculture sector and manufacture sector, okay, you can say it was easy for them to uplift the economic backward Indian people. Got it? Then after that the foreign policy. Okay, foreign policy. Jawaharlal Nehru is regarded as the architect of modern independent India. His foreign policy, okay, was based on the 5 principles of coexistence or Panchashil Niti. Got it? So, who considered as the you can say architect of modern India? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, because he was you can say followed the Panchashil Niti, and through the Panchashil Niti, what India was able to maintain a good relationship with other countries. Okay, so what was the Panchashil? that mutual respect for each other, territorial integrity and sovereignty, mutual non-aggression, non-interference in each other's internal affairs, equality and cooperation for mutual benefit, peaceful coexistence. Okay, so it was the, you can say, law or foreign policy of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, that mutual respect for each other, territorial integrity and sovereignty. Means, in case you can say like China, okay, means China in present time, okay, China is not, you can say, obey this type of foreign policy. Pakistan also, okay, but to you can say maintain a good relationship with other nations, what five policy or Panchashil Niti was created, were formed by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, where India followed the way of mutual respect and, you can say, integrity and sovereignty, then mutual non-aggression, non-interference in each other's internal affairs, okay, then equality and cooperation for mutual benefit and peaceful existence. Got it? So after that, the policy of non-alignment. So there were two superpowers in the world at the time of India's independence, okay, in 1947. USA and USSR, United States of America, and what you can say Russia, okay, Union Soviet Socialist Russia. Both these powers were in a state of Cold War as a result of bitter what rivalry between them, okay, what you can say, they are the enemies country, what USA and USSR. So from the beginning a rivalry, you can say, always take a place among them. India decided to not join either of the power blocks. India remained friendly with both and at the same time did not let them interfere in its foreign policy. This policy called non-alignment. Okay, so here you can say it is very easy that the policy of non-alignment means what India didn't support what either America or Russia. Okay, what India stood up. Nowadays also in modern times, India what stand up impartially. India maintain what friendly relationship with both of the country. Okay, and this policy is known as what non-alignment. It has remained an important pillar of India's foreign policy. The non-alignment policy, okay, what it has remained the pillar of what India's foreign policy. Got it? Okay. After that, the topic is relation with neighboring country. Okay, means relations, India's relations with neighboring countries. So India always what maintain the friendly relationship with other countries. Okay, not only with neighboring countries. Okay, yes, India always what maintain good, peaceful and friendly relationship with other countries. Okay, like what Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, China, Sri Lanka, Bhutan and Myanmar. These are the neighboring country of India. However, India's relation with Pakistan and China have remained what turbulent. Got it? The relations with Pakistan and China, okay, it is not good because the country, you can say, they were what Pakistan and China always what you can say created problems, okay, for India on her foreign policy. After the partition, India and Pakistan got engaged in 3 wars in 1947, in 1965 and in 1990. 1999. Okay, so what three war took place, you can say, between India and Pakistan, and also over the issue of Kashmir. Okay, what three wars were happened, and once more in 1971 over the liberation of Bangladesh, what India and Pakistan faced off. Okay, in 1959, okay, Dalai Lama, the spiritual head of the Tibetan people, okay, he was, you can say, along with his 80,000 followers, he was migrated to India because China what attacked to Tibet. China, you can say, wanted to annex Tibet with China. That's why the spiritual head of Tibetan people, Dalai Lama, you can say, along with his 80,000 followers, okay, he was, you can say, took shelter in India, and India also granted what shelter to the Tibetan people, okay, you can say, under the leadership of Dalai Lama. Okay, and this issue what creates, you can say, this incident creates disputes what between India and China. Okay, so this is the recent incident that the Chinese soldiers, okay, they were what interfere to the Indian territory. Okay, so what the conflicts between India and China, it is now also going on. Okay, after that India has enjoyed very good relations traditionally with Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and particularly Bhutan. Strong trade ties exist between India and its neighboring countries, with China being one of India's largest trading partner. Yes, India also, you can say, always maintaining good trading relationship with her neighboring countries. Okay, so you can say, what after all, the relations of India with her neighboring country is very good. Okay, then about SAARC. You can say, this is a organization, okay, that the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Okay, South Asian Association what for Regional Cooperation, the full form of SAARC, was established with the aim of maintaining cordial relations between the member nations and also to increase economic, social and cultural cooperation between them. So a organization was founded, okay, the name of that organization, okay, SAARC, South Asian Association of Regional Center, and the main aim, and you can say main ambition of what the organization of SAARC to maintain good, you can say, relationship, to maintain peace between the countries, or you can say to you can say exchange of culture, exchange of goods. Okay, so this activity are totally, you can say, looked over or controlled by the what organization SAARC. India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Maldives are the member nations of this organization. It was established in 1985. Okay, 1985 India, then you can say Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Okay, these are the, you can say, member nation of this organization. So the SAARC what secretariat is in Kathmandu, Nepal. Okay, or you can say the main office of this organization or secretariat, okay, it is located in Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. Got it? After that, let's discuss about the last topic of this chapter, what India after independence. That the achievements and challenges, means how did the Indian were able to what solve the challenges, okay, and what are the challenges, okay, in front of the Indians. Got it? So more than 70 years after independence, India has shown remarkable progress, okay, in every field. Got it? So these are the, you can say, achievements of India. That the Green Revolution, okay, which was took place in agriculture field or agriculture sector, okay, and it was initiated in 1960. Got it? Has resulted in India being self-sufficient in food grains. Got it? Then India has made impressive progress in industrial sector also, in manufacturing sector also. Okay, India is progressing. Okay, so it can boost of heavy industries like fertilizers, iron and steel, chemicals, railway coaches and locomotives, textile, etc. Means you can say in agriculture sector, in primary sector, and in secondary sector, in industrial sector. Okay, the achievements, okay, you can say India always carry the achievements in this field. Okay, then India had also made remarkable progress in the field of science and technology, particularly software industry, in which it is the world leader. Okay, so one of the important, you can say, major achievement of India in the, you can say, in the field of technology and science also. Okay, then India has made giant leaps in space travel. It has been regularly launching satellite as a much lower cost other than countries. Its Mars orbiter mission called what? The Mangalyaan or the Mangal mission has been orbiting Mars since 24 September 2014. It was launched on 5th November 2013 by the Indian Space Research Organization or ISRO. So in every field, almost in every field, okay, we are developing, okay, we get what? Achievements, but some of the, you can say, major issues are in front of us. Okay, some of the obstacles are always, you can say, created headache for Indian people, okay, are created, you can say, headache for Indian society, Indian government, and that problems are, you can say, the overpopulation, poverty, unemployment, corruption and pollution. Okay, so these are the, you can say, challenges, these are the problems, okay, which are reached its head, okay, you can say, in front of the way of what, way of, you can say, development of India. What? The overpopulation, then unemployment, poverty, corruption and pollution. After that, the casteism, okay, then the religious discrimination still exists in Indian society. Okay, the casteism, the religious issue, okay, you can say, most of the, you can say, caste issue or religious issue, okay, these are screen up in rural areas. Okay, and the major you can say, major cause behind the casteism and religious discrimination is what? The lack of what, you can say, education. Okay, so that's why you can say the casteism and religious issues or religious discrimination, these are also challenges for what? the developing India. So the present day government working very hard and sincerely to make India one of the best countries in the world. Okay, so what to prevent this type of, you can say, challenges, or to, you can say, what to sort out this type of challenges or problems, Indian government was has what always take various steps, okay, to sort out, to solve the challenges. Okay, the Indian people, okay, they are what always eagerly what cooperate with Indian, you can say, Indian government. So what in modern days, in, you can say, modern time, in modern day, government working very hard, as well as the people of India are also what working hard, or you can say give very much or give precious efforts towards what to prevent such type of situation, to prevent or to, you can say, to solve this type of what challenges. Okay, so this is all about your chapter, what India after independence. Okay, I hope you, all of you, you can say, better understood this chapter. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.